this way. Hi, it is super windy, but I'm going to the library. You might be able to see it, kind of. But I'm gonna go and get books, and then I'll talk to you about them later. And you can say hi to Krista, she's right there. But yes, I'm going to the library. I will talk to you later, but you'll get to see the interior of the library while I walk around. So I hope you enjoy. Hello! Since I showed you my entire library, sort of, I showed you all the parts that didn't have people in them. The Flower Memorial Library is in the town I live in. It's really, really fancy. Someone in the area did a podcast about it because it's like one of the most elaborate libraries, and if you're in our town, it logically doesn't make sense. Like, it is too fancy for where we live. But apparently, where we lived a very long time ago, used to be full of like very wealthy families. They're not here anymore, like they left, but that library is one of the like crowning achievements of the Flower family. I'm not gonna get into it. Again, I think if you like look it up, I know a local podcast like interviewed the current, or at the time current director, and they talk about it because it's also possibly haunted. I've never had a haunted experience there, but I've only ever been there during like the day and like not for wildly long amounts of time. But the footage you saw was just walking around. So I was there for a little while, and honestly I went in just to browse. So some of these are from 2 different days actually. So I have a huge stack of books next to me. The day that I filmed, it was just like walking around. I picked up some library holds, and then I also just perused and wound up with a bunch of books. And then the second day, the folks were visiting, so we went to the library, and there's a book sale like all the time kind of, and they were selling books, and I managed to pick up some very cheap books. They were all either like $1 adult books or like $1 kids books. I will show you everything, but these are all the books that I have. I'm going to start with the ones that I borrowed because some of these I have to read sooner than others. So the first book that I grabbed was on the, it's still on the new release shelf there. So it's That Night in the Library by Ava. Oh, I did not look up her last name, and it's Polish. I looked on the author part. Jerzyk? We're going with Jerzyk. I'm sorry if that's wrong. So this is set in a library, and I don't really want to read you the whole description, but on the night before graduation, 7 students gather in the basement of their university's rare books library. They're not allowed in the library after closing, but it's the perfect place for the ritual they want to perform, one borrowed from the Greeks, said to free those who take part in it from the fear of death. And what better time to seek the wisdom of the ancient gods than the hours before they'll scatter in different directions to start their real lives. But this is a locked door murder mystery. So that's all I'm going to tell you. So far, this is the only one I've started. I am not far at all. They haven't gotten to the ritual. We've just met all the characters. I'm enjoying it so far, but I will say I'm not very far in it. With the folks visiting, and then just the holiday weekend, I didn't do much reading. I watched a lot of Hannibal with my wife, but not a lot of reading. So just, there you go. The next one I have is The New Couple in 5B by Lisa Unger. I have not read anything else by her, and someone I know said that they read it and I should let them know what they think. I got this even though I did not recently like nestlings, and it's also a like in a fancy apartment building you can't afford kind of thing. So this is Rosie and Chad Lowen are barely making ends meet in New York City when they receive life-changing news. Chad's late uncle has left them his luxury apartment at the historic Windermere in glamorous Murray Hill. With its pre-war elegance and impeccably uniformed doormen, the building is the epitome of old New York charm. One would almost never suspect the dark history lurking behind its perfectly maintained facade. And that's all I'm reading you. I am intrigued. I'm trying this because I have liked books set where it's like all your problems are solved, you get this amazing apartment, and then everything is bad. So we're giving that one a try. Now this next stack is regular checkouts. So I have a longer period of time to read them. So I have T. Kingfisher, A House with Good Bones. My window is open because it was a little warm, so if you hear street noise, I'm sorry, but it's gonna happen. A lot of people have already talked about this. This is a backlist. Also, someone's slip is in here. I will just say the premise of this is, do we get her name? Sam Montgomery goes back to like the family home in North Carolina because her mom is acting strangely, and what's happening is the house keeps doing odd things. Like odd things are happening. There's weird things about the family home. I don't want to get too much into this because this is so short that I feel like I would spoil something. So that one I have plenty of time to read. I also got Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay. I grabbed a lot of backlist stuff while I was wandering. This is also not my checkout receipt. This is some, oh, maybe this one is mine. This one is mine. There's so many receipts in these, like the checkout slips. This is The Lives of the Barretts. A normal suburban New England family are torn apart when 14-year-old Marjorie begins to display signs of acute schizophrenia. doctors can't stop the outbursts, and someone suggests an exorcism. That's all I'm telling you for that one either. That one's a pretty far back backlist book. Then this is the only technical YA book that I grabbed, the bad ones, and I feel like this kept popping up on some list. So this is Goddess, Count to 5 in the morning, who's alive? In the course of a single winter's night, 4 people vanish without a trace across a small town. Nora's estranged best friend, Becca, is one of the lost, and then Nora is trying to untangle the mystery of her disappearance. So this is by Melissa Albert. This just kept popping up on something, so I like grabbed it. I don't remember what list it was on, but it sounded fun. Then I got Josh Mallerman's Daphne, which this one is like an urban legend. Yeah, it's the last summer for Kit Lamb. Here we go. I'll go to the top part. It says, Daphne, a brutal, enigmatic woman, stalks a high school basketball team in this reimagining of the slasher genre. And then our focus is Kit Lamb. And then there's a ghost story about a girl named Daphne, and she like died under mysterious circumstances. If you do something, she stalks you. Now, I will point out, the person at the checkout desk was like, have you read Bird Box? Because she asked if I had read Incidents Around the Home, or House, because I checked this one out. And then I was like, oh, I'd never read anything by him, but I did read that and I really liked it. So I'm trying Daphne. And she was kind of surprised that I didn't grab Bird Box, but I remember thinking this one sounded really cool. And while I like a post-apocalyptic monster thing, I wasn't in the mood for it, so I thought I would try this first. So we're doing that instead of Bird Box. Eventually I'll read Bird Box, but this one sounded like more fun. I have another Paul Tremblay, so this is Disappearance at Devil's Rock. This mentions Head Full of Ghosts. Family is shaken to its core after the mysterious disappearance of a teenage boy in this eerie tale. Elizabeth Sanderson receives devastating news that every mother fears. Her 13-year-old son Tommy has vanished without a trace in the woods of a nearby state park, and the search is yielding no answers. And that's all I'm going to tell you. There will be strange events, apparently, but I grabbed this because I really liked the Pallbearers Club, and I really liked horror movies, so I thought I would read more Paul Tremblay in like various iterations, so those seemed different enough that I thought it would be fun. Then I have In a Dark, Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. I have only read Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware, and this one just seemed fun. Sometimes the only thing to fear is yourself. What should be a cozy and fun-filled weekend deep in the English countryside takes a sinister turn in Ruth Ware's suspenseful, compulsive, and darkly twisted debut psychological thriller. Lenora, known to some as Lee, to others as Nora, is a reclusive writer, unwilling to leave her nest of an apartment unless it is absolutely necessary. But when a friend, who she hasn't spoken to in years, unexpectedly invites her to a weekend away in an eerie glass house, she reluctantly agrees to make the trip. Skim. The party is not alone in the woods. And then we do a 48-hour time jump, according to the thing, but I'm not going to read anymore. I grabbed this because I thought the glass house element seemed fun, and it seemed very like spooky, fallishy maybe. Then this is the next one I grabbed. I remember people talking about this, but I don't know that anyone has read this that I like watch on YouTube, or they have and I completely forgot, but it's called Fever House and it's by Keith Rosen. And this is when legbreaker Hutch Holtz rolls up to a run-down apartment complex in Portland, Oregon to collect overdue drug money. A severed hand is the last thing he expects to find stashed in the client's refrigerator. And then he says he learns the hand induces uncontrollable madness. You are suddenly, you have a compulsion for violence that will not stop. There's also, oh my gosh, yes, this is perfect. There's also a character named Catherine Moriarty, and it's spelled exactly like my first name, and Moriarty is Sherlock Holmesy and makes me smile. She's a singer whose sudden fame and precipitous downfall were followed by the mysterious death of her estranged husband. She's agoraphobic and she has a son. And Nick, her son, has been making a living working for Hutch's boss, so they are connected via Hutch. And that's all I'm going to say. But I am intrigued because this feels very, oh, what's it called? Why can't I remember? You probably are yelling at me. The hand, what is that called? Like the dead man's hand that can help thieves do anything. Oh, I wish I could remember what that was called. I feel very dumb. I'm gonna have to Google it after. It's not, because that doesn't bring on uncontrollable violence, but I am intrigued by the fact that there's a hand that makes you go mad, kind of. And then the final library book in this stack is Red Dragon by Thomas Harris. And I almost wasn't going to mention this, but apparently the St. Martin's Press boycott is over, And I believe at some point these books were owned by St. Martin's Press, but this says Putnam on it, so I don't know. I had just read Silence of the Lambs, but the Hannibal series is based on characters from Red Dragon, and we just watched the Red Dragon movie, so I thought I should actually read the book because I hadn't. I'm not really going to get into this. This involves Will Graham and Hannibal Lecter and a killer who would like to be called the Red Dragon, but people keep calling him the Tooth Fairy and he hates it. So that's what this is about. You probably already know that, so I'm not getting into this one. So those are all the borrowed books. Now, I did grab some stuff at the book sale, and they are very random seeming. So the first book is called Where Geeks Save Wisconsin by Kathy Lyons. It is signed, like actually signed, you can kind of tell it's really, there we go. It's also a special edition, and it's 56 of 100, and like it has a little sticker, and it even like, I don't know, it's just random that my library had it, and it says it's a paranormal romance, and it's gay. But my dad saw it when we were at the library sale, and he was like, this seems like something you would like. And he wasn't even sure it was book 1, but it says Where Geeks Save the World, and so it says book 1 right there. So he gave it to me, and it's like pretty like it's not a huge book, so I think it'll be easy. Oh, okay, so this author has written books in like a duo with another author, and they go by Jade Lee. So the setup is when badass werewolves battling supernatural evil realize they need tech support, they recruit a group of geeks with hilarious and romantic results. Chemist Josh Collier is having a blast at a comic book convention when he gets the shock of his life. He's a werewolf. He gets whisked away to a secret lair by Nero, a Hawkeye dressed as a Roman centurion, and then Josh's former life is over. Nero doesn't really want to be babysitting him, but the two of them wind up together, and they have to try and survive a demon that's out to destroy Wisconsin. I don't know. This sounds very fun and silly and cute, and probably a fun read for October because I'm going to do Halloween-a-thon, and I just like took a screenshot of the prompt, like the backup prompts that looked like a tombstone, and I'm just going to use those because some of those seemed fun, and I don't really want to make a board. I don't want to print anything because I can't use a printer at home. It is my work printer. I can't print non-work things on it. And then like I'd have to pay to get it printed somewhere, and so I'm not doing that. I'm really sorry. The boards look very cute. All of the stuff looked really cute, but I just can't really print anything, so I'm not. I'm just gonna write prompts down in like a notebook and cross them off as I go, which works for me. But I thought this would definitely fit a prompt for that somehow. So that's what I'm gonna read that for. So I'm gonna save it for October, but it seemed very cute. The other one is Witch Child, which is totally like a book fair book. This is by Celia Reese, and it is Enter the World of Mary Newberry, where being different can cost a person her life. Hidden until now in the pages of her secret diary, 14-year-old Mary's story begins as she flees the English witch hunts to settle in an American colony. How long can she hide her true nature from the Puritans? How long can she keep running? I have definitely read this before. I'm very sure I read that in middle school, but I don't remember it. And it was 50 cents, so I got it. The other books I got are all American Girl books, so they were selling all of their like American Girl books. I don't know if they got new editions or what, but they were selling all of them. So I got a Samantha mystery, The Stolen Sapphire. This is Samantha and Nellie set sail for Europe. Also aboard the ship is a world-famous archaeologist and the legendary sapphire that he's carrying to a London museum. When this priceless jewel disappears, Samantha realizes that every one of the passengers is a suspect and one of them must be the thief. This was also 50 cents, and I thought why not, because I'm sure I read this as a kid. I recognized a few of the books, like they had a bunch of American Girl mysteries, and I had read them, but I did not buy them because they don't have the like quintessential American Girls in them. But I do remember them. They also had a Dear America book, and if it hadn't been the Civil War one, I would have gotten it. But it was, so I didn't. Nothing against Civil War history, but I've read a lot of it. And I just didn't want to get that book. If they'd had the Titanic one, I would have gotten it. And the next one I have, so I just got some from the set. These are the only 3 from the Samantha set that they had still. So they had Happy Birthday Samantha, which is her birthday story. They had Samantha Saves the Day, which is a summer story. And then Changes for Samantha, a winter story. So they're all like themed to a season. none of them were the fall one. I know there's a fall one. It's normally like a back to school book. And then the meat one, I believe, is normally summertime. Maybe that one's the fall one. I don't really remember. But I got those 3, and I thought at some point I would read them just for nostalgia, because it would be fun. My original American Girl doll is actually sitting on my work desk. Her name is Christina, because my middle name is Christine. And so her name is Christina, and she has Coconut the dog with her. And I'll probably show her off whenever I read those. But yes, that is everything, I think. That's all the books. But yeah, so I guess this is also kind of a TBR video because I'm going to be reading these over the course of September, excluding the purchase books. Those are just for funds whenever. But all of the actual checked out books I have to read this month. So there you go. This is also my September TBR. Fully library books. I may have some more books coming in because I have holds out. And I know we used to live here. I'm pretty close to the top of the list. And if that comes in, I'm going to skip to that one and read that right away because it's the Literally Dead book club book and it sounds really good. So I will skip a bit if like a hold comes in because the holds are all 2-week books and I only have two-week books right now. So yes, that is my plan. But have you read any of these? Do you have thoughts on any of these? Let me know in the comments. I also hope you liked the walking around the library. I have to add music to those clips still because I haven't edited anything. So I have to see how that works in my editing software because I don't really do that. So we'll see how that goes. But yes, so give me your thoughts on all these books. Are you doing Halloween-a-thon? How are you participating? I'm just curious if people who are watching this are doing it, and if you are, how you're doing it. I think everyone's making a board game, even though I'm not. But yes, any thoughts you want to give me in the comments would be lovely. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of me, please subscribe. Also, I'm wearing these cute Beetlejuice pajamas because Beetlejuice comes out Beetlejuice comes out this weekend. I'm very excited. So, alright, I will talk to you later. Bye, internet people.